allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. A note before we begin this evening that Chairman Thiel is out for the night, but we will proceed as usual, beginning with the roll call. If everyone could introduce themselves, starting on my right, name and title.
Yep. No. Just introduce yourself, my man.
Oh, sorry. Jeremy Lamoth, Facilities Director.
Carrie Sindoni, Assistant Superintendent.
Jane Samard, Business Administrator.
Michael Flynn, Superintendent.
Jen Thoreau, School Board Vice Chair.
David Clapp, School Board.
Jenna Paradise, School Board Secretary.
Jamie Crew, School Board.
Karen Rand, School Board.
Our first order of business tonight is the consent agenda. For tonight, we have the public meeting minutes of June 23rd, 2026, the meeting minutes for the School Board Goal Setting Workshop of June 23rd, 2026, the non-public meeting minutes of June 23rd, 2026, approval of the manifest in the amount of $12,077,074.24, of which $4,190,012.66 is general payroll, and $7,887,061.58 is general expense. Approval of the following professional staff nominations: Brittany Bergstrom, elementary school teacher, Grinnell Elementary School; Emily Engler, special education teacher, East Derry Memorial Elementary School; Cynthia Joyce, art teacher, East Derry Memorial Elementary School; Trisha Kent, reading specialist, East Derry Memorial Elementary School; Madison Rowe, teacher, Gilbert H. Hood Middle School; Candace St. Ange, Pace, language arts teacher, West Running Brook Intermediate School. Approval of the following retirements: Christy Nolan, Pace, language arts teacher, West Running Brook Intermediate School. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
First by Jamie.
Second.
Second by David. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
It's okay, it's okay. I'll add it after. Go ahead.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Brenda?
I just wanted to say thank you to Christy for all that she's done for our district over the many years that she's worked here. Just wanted to recognize that.
Thank you. Second order of business tonight is appointment presentations. Tonight we have Director of Facilities Jeremy Lamoth here to update us on the summer work that has been happening throughout the district.
Now it's my turn. So I have a report that I presented to the Facilities Committee at our meeting this week with some more updates on top of that. So at West Running Brook this year, we did the gym floor, we did flooring throughout the building. We're going to be paving the courtyard, guardrail replacement, and folding wall for the stage. As of now, the gym floor is completed. It's been refinished, sanded, new lines painted with the new logo on the floor. We did about 16,000 feet of carpet replacement within the building, and that is complete, and the custodial staff is currently sealing it, waxing it, and getting it ready for furniture to be moved back in for the start of school. The courtyard paving has been all demoed and prepped for paving, and we heard today that Thursday they'll be paving that lot. So guardrail replacement is ongoing with scheduling, and same with the folding wall. Due to lead times we have, material won't be there till September, but that's stuff that can be done while the kids are in school. At Gilbert H. Hood, we did flooring and flood repairs from the flood that we had last year. We did 2 classrooms, which also included an abatement, and we did the library. So the library got all new carpeting, the classrooms got vinyl tile, and that is all complete. Flood repairs, hallway flooring is complete, the drywallers and plumbers are still on site repairing those bathrooms and the walls, and it's on schedule to be completed before the students come back. Barca, we have bleacher seat replacements. That was ongoing as of this report, and that is now complete. We have 2 tactile strips on some ramps in the concrete that are scheduled to be done before school starts this year. East Derry, we did flooring and a roof replacement. The roofing is complete. We're just waiting on the manufacturer to be out in the next couple weeks for their final sign-off and inspection. But as far as the project itself goes, it's complete. Flooring, we did about 8,600 square feet of carpet tile in all the hallways and the remaining classrooms that had carpet in them. We replaced that with VCT, and that is complete, and that school is in great shape, ready to go. SAU/Derry Village, we started moving some of the staff in there on conditional inspections that were completed by the town and the fire department. We were still working on mechanical items. Those are complete. We just have to wait on the manufacturer again to come in and do programming and start up. Final inspection from the town and fire is scheduled for Thursday of this week. At Grinnell, we did flooring, and we are scheduling the loading docks still. That will have to be done when the students come back, working around that schedule. The flooring, we did an abatement in 5 classrooms. We replaced the carpet in the library and the music room with carpet. The rest of the classrooms got the vinyl tile. They're completing that today, and the custodians are currently waxing it and putting it back together this week. At South Range, we have the brick facade and roofing and HVAC work. The brick facade work is complete on the ground level, and it is 95% complete, or 90% complete on the second level up by the gym, which we didn't think that that was going to be something that was done until the students got back, so that's moving along very quickly. The window installation is following close behind. If you look at the front of the building today, it looks done, other than the roof, but the windows are in, the bricks are up. There's a few windows still to be installed in the back of the building on the right-hand side if you're facing it, and that should be done in the next couple days. They're following right behind with the caulking, and they are putting in the new ceiling grid, new lighting. That's all being worked on as we speak, and that should be good to go by the time the kids come back to school. I think that's, they'll be wiping down the last windowsills as staff walks in, but that's their promise. So, roofing. During the demolition of the roof, we had some lead paint issues where we needed to weld. A couple of things pushed us back. We found some asbestos in the roof where we did a bunch of test cuts, and so there was a couple surprises with that. So getting people there to take care of that took a little bit extra time. It slowed the process down, but the weather's been good to us as much as we've had a couple downpours, and it will be done by the time school starts. They're about 85% now with the permanent roofing system. So boiler room was demoed. We demoed a chimney, demoed some walls. The new boilers are installed. They're working on piping and putting the finishing touches on that. That portion of it is going to go into when the kids return, but will be in time for heating season. So the hot water system will be up and running for staff. So district-wide, the rekeying was underway when I did this report. That is complete. We'll be distributing keys this week, starting tomorrow at the secretary's meeting. There is a couple doors that they couldn't do here and there, so we're working on that, but all in all, that project is complete, and we've got a secure key system for the district. That's it. Any questions?
Can you just briefly talk about the asbestos mitigation? Because I'm getting a lot of questions from people who are concerned about how it's done. I have told people that I watched it done at Hood and how safe it was, but your words are much better than mine. So could you just explain it sort of to people?
Yeah, so it's done by licensed contractors, and the whole process is monitored with the state. There's rules that they have to follow. There's paperwork that we need to file. As far as South Range goes, we had a couple of different abatement contractors there taking care of it because of what we found and the timing and availability of contractors. So that's all closely monitored. They do it according to the standards that are required of them. And then when we do it inside of the building, there's a different process, but they build a containment within the building, and they have a negative air pressure so that it doesn't go throughout the building. And, you know, they use all the proper equipment, HEPA vacuums and a showering system, and then they dispose of it properly. And again, we get that paperwork right down to every guy that's on site has to sign in, and we need that paperwork to file within our HERA books so that we can show that it was done properly. And they're all responsible for that, so.
Thanks.
Yep.
Any other questions for Jeremy?
Well done. Sounds like it's been a busy summer.
Yeah, I'd just like to take a moment.
Yeah.
You know, you can
Absolutely.
talk about project management. If you want to go down the list and do the check boxes, but the amount of flooring that was replaced, the amount of buildings all had work on it, the coordination he had to do with the admin team. Lynn and Michelle still not really back in the building yet. They've been all over, but Jeremy's been so communicative towards all of us. But then really going back to the project at South Range and how he's managed that group, I want to compliment that group from all of our project managers.
Yep.
They had their weekly meeting. I joined. They're on top of it down to when the cleaning's coming in, when the teachers are going out. They continue to uncover stuff the entire time. I think I've shared several pictures with you guys along the way, and they didn't blink. They've had to pivot, they've had to change, but school's opening. Teachers are going to be coming back right as they left. Same thing. It's like they're passing a baton. So nice work, Jeremy, and,
Thank you.
and especially all our partners that are helping us with all of these projects.
Thank you, Jeremy. Our next order of business tonight is delegations and individuals. At this time, residents of Derry, parents of currently enrolled Derry students, and employees of the district may address the school board on matters that pertain only to school and district business for a period of time not to exceed 3 minutes per person. As a reminder, the board welcomes input. However, questions are not entertained during the comment period. If you would like to speak, please come up to the microphone at this time and state your name and address for the record. Anybody?
I'll do the time.
I can do it.
You got it?
You got it?
Okay. Oh, you don't have a... No one's pressing the button, huh?
I'm in charge now.
Okay, I get to talk forever. Let me know when I can start.
Go.
All right, thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Brian Chiricello, 6 Rollins Street. I have a quick question. I've been waiting for the last couple of months. As you know, I've come up before in the past to find out what the school board will be doing with, and I think it's probably roughly $1 million of money that was unspent from the previous budget. I do know that you spent $200,000 on 5 or 6 projects, which I did witness, but I thought there was going to be discussion on the $1 million that was left over. So did I miss any meetings, or no? That was not discussed at all yet? 'Cause I was told it was coming up in August, so.
Yeah, Brian, we have it on our agenda, I think, at the end of August.
Okay, all right, so it's a future budget, okay. That's fine. What I would recommend as a citizen of Derry is that you use that $1 million of unreserved fund balance, and you use it to offset the tax rate for next year. As we know, come December, there's a $10 million increase from the schools, $10 million. So if you put $1 million towards it, it'll put a small dent in it. And I think the citizens would appreciate that. They understand that the $10 million was voted on, but as a gesture, a goodwill gesture from the school board, I think it would be great if you guys voted to put the $1 million towards the tax rate. Just to let you know, the town is doing a full reval, town-wide reval, that is, at the end of August, we'll all get mailed new numbers of assessed value. Now, I'm just telling you because I spent 18 years on a town council, so this is what's going to happen. It happens every single time. So you're going to get your assessed value. Right now, it's currently at 90% of the market value, so it's going to probably go up to 100, so figure 10% increase. People are going to look at it, and they're going to apply the old tax rate, and they are going to be screaming. So just be prepared. So at the end of August, people are going to be upset because they don't know how it works, okay? The issue is that the tax rate doesn't get set till November. So you're going to have a couple of months of people buzzing about what's going on. You know, they're going to say, my taxes went sky high. Now, I did calculate between the school, the town, and the county, a increase of $2.20 per thousand of assessed value increase, okay? So I've heard different numbers bouncing around, and I know this because, I'm in the real estate world. The average house in Derry is $580,000. It's not $300,000, it's not $400,000, it's $580,000.
Mr. Cherichello, would you like to extend your time by 30 seconds?
Only if you guys allow me to.
Do I have a motion to extend Mr. Cherichello's time?
I'm almost done. I appreciate that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So at $580,000 and $2.20. Now, this is not an exact number because there's different things that are going to play, right? If you throw the $1 million in, that will offset it. There's also additional value that the town has created, so that's going to help it. I'm just using numbers that I don't know the unknowns yet, so we're just roughing it. So that's a $1,160 increase on that $580,000 house. They're currently paying $10,500, so now you add the $1,160. I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know. You know that people are going to be upset. It's not anybody's fault. I mean, everything's been voted on, but it is what it is. So you're going to get a lot of questions. The town council is going to get pestered. And, a lot of times in the town council, we would say, don't look at us, we're under a tax cap. Okay? That's just the conversation. So I just wanted to kind of set that out because a lot of people just don't know the reval's coming. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Well, good evening. Richard Tripp, 44 Wyndham Road. I want to thank Jeremy. He did a pretty good job on, say again?
It's Phyllis. She's talking. Oh, speaking to the mic.
Is the microphone on?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for reminding me of that. Anyhow, I did have some things that I wish that Jeremy had talked about. I know that this is, I believe, the second year that the schools have been worked on, and the idea that it was going to take about 4 years to do all the work. It would be nice if at one of the meetings that the school board would do an update as to how much work has been done, how much work is remaining, and how much the estimated cost has been expended. One of the other things is I try and keep up with what the school board meetings consisted of, and I don't always make it to the school board meetings, but I always figure that I can just watch the video. Unfortunately, I believe that the video from your last meeting still hasn't been posted, which makes it hard for people to look at it. I think the only thing that has been posted so far was the last
Yeah.
agenda.
Mr. Tripp, it's up on the DerryCAM website.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
June
you
25th.
don't have to go to the school board site to see what has been posted.
Go to DerryCAM. It's up under the government meetings.
All right. Well, thank you. The other thing that I'd like to talk about today is that Phyllis and I were out to lunch today, and we're coming back, and we saw where T-Mobile has a program going on where they, if the schools sign up, that they will be awarded anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000 to $100,000 to $1 million.
You want me to make a motion?
Mr. Tripp, do you want to continue with 30
Yep,
seconds?
I'll try and be quick.
I'll make a motion to extend Richard's time.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now, one of the wrinkles in this is that the only schools that can sign up for this program, this contest, is high schools. And I asked them, well, who all has signed up? And there was, several schools that have signed up, but Pinkerton hasn't signed up. And I suspect that I know there are some board members that always complain that there's no way to get a little extra revenue.
I would suggest emailing the director over at Tim Powers over at Pinkerton to see if...
I was getting to that.
Okay.
Mr. Tripp,
And I realized that since...
Mr. Tripp, can you tie it up?
Did I what?
Can you finish up, please?
All right. Anyhow, if you're interested in possibly getting some of this free money, I would hope that you would talk to Pinkerton, and see if they're even aware of this, so that you can work with them and maybe win some of this money. The school that won $1 million last year was a school in, I believe it was Oklahoma. It was 900, a population of 900. So anyhow, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Tripp. Would anyone else like to speak this evening? All right, I see no one approaching the microphone. If no one else wishes to speak, we will move on with the meeting. However, the public comment will remain open until 7:12 p.m. If you wish to speak prior to that time, approach the microphone. I'll recognize you in the next break in the agenda. Our next order of business is student representatives. We have nobody tonight, although we do look forward to welcoming 2 new student reps in the fall. So we will move on to deliberations. One order of business to deliberate tonight. For several years, the district has been holding funds that have been donated for a specific project that never came to fruition, and we have a proposal on the table for an alternate use of those funds. Jane is going to provide some background on the item, and we also have Barbara DuPont, one of the teachers who spearheaded the original fundraiser, as well as the other fundraisers here this evening to speak to the proposal. Jane, would you mind giving a little bit of background?
Sure. This proposal came to the school board and a committee of the school board we talked to both Barbara DuPont, Audrey Allen, and the intent of the project was to have an outdoor learning classroom in the memory of 2 young ladies who had been students at West Running Brook Middle School at the time. And we brought the project forward. The board approved that we would accept the donated money. Funds were raised in a variety of areas. They did They did an auction over at the Boys and Girls Club, and that was in October of 2022. They were doing additional fundraising just on their own on the side. I believe the PTA may have donated some money to the funds. And the total funds that were raised were $75,423.88. And the intent, again, was to have an outdoor learning classroom. Over the last number of years, we've just had roadblocks. It was right after COVID. The location where they originally thought that we would do it was not going to work. It was going to be in the back of West Runningbrook. And then looked to try to put it in the front of the building, and again, had difficulties finding a structure or outdoor learning classroom that would fit the budget. And the district was doing the paving, so that was fine, but just being able to work that in. So I believe that Audrey and Barbara have requested that the $75,000 would be donated instead of keeping it at the school district and instead of having an outdoor classroom. So I don't know if they're going to come up and speak to it.
Is this on? Thank you, Jane. You encapsulated that pretty well. Just so everybody knows, we want the funds redirected to St. Jude's. Both girls were treated there, and I think West Runningbrook is no longer a middle school, so the whole idea, it's not there. It's not there, and when we originally wanted the classroom in the back of the school, there were a lot of roadblocks on that as well, as far as, you got to build a wall for safety, and then front of the school, that's even worse. So I think at this point in time, the money's been there a while, and both families of these girls are on board, as is all of our major donors, to release this money to go to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital to do some good.
So can I just add that the money was raised purposely by private donors.
Correct.
For this purpose. So it's not coming from, the school district isn't giving away money. We're honoring your donors' wishes. I just want that to be perfectly clear.
Yeah, not one penny was from the district at all. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? Or?
No, I'm really sorry. Like, I wasn't on the board at that time, but I remember hearing about it, and the concept of having this outdoor learning center was amazing and beautiful, and I'm really sorry that it didn't work out the way that it's planned. It would have been lovely, but I'm very happy to see, and that you have a place to direct it, and I'm sure that obviously St. Jude would be more than happy to get that donation. I just wonder if there's any way that we can still honor this with, some type of, I don't know if ceremony is the right word, because we did all these fundraisers, and the point was to be able to do like a ribbon cutting, to do something to this grand gesture to say this is for these girls, and I'm wondering if there's any way to do that instead of just, quietly writing a check and then it goes away, that we can still make it an event and known. And if you have any ideas.
Audrey and I will make sure that anybody that was connected to that will know.
Okay.
We'll make this public.
Yes.
And Bobby Marcotte, who's in attendance tonight, Alana's dad, he's done amazing things for St. Jude's, and St. Jude's has done amazing things with all the funds raised. And I think the ship sailed. I think the ship is at the port.
Yeah, like I said, I'm glad that it's happening, and I would very much love it to just be publicly known that, we're trying to pool together to do the right thing and make sure it gets to where it needs to go. Not for our recognition, I hope you don't understand, but you know what I'm saying.
And
for all the people who are involved over the year.
Recognition at all.
Yeah,
this is all about just doing the right thing with the monies.
So, and just to be clear, all along with their fundraising, there were celebrations. Every time they hit a milestone, there was a celebration. The school was part of that. The Boys and Girls Club was part of that. The donors were part of that. It was on Channel 9. It was in the Derry News. Like, there was definitely a lot of press and a lot of celebration. And I don't want to take away anything, because you deserve a lot of celebration, as does Bobby. But But I don't think that you weren't celebrated. All the work that you put in, you celebrated, and you made sure everybody celebrated with you. So it's much appreciated. Are we ready to move? Because I'll make a motion.
No, I'll accept the motion to transfer $75,423.88 in donated funds held by the district to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital.
So moved.
First by Brenda.
Second.
Second by Jenna. All in favor? Aye.
Thank
Motion
you. You're
carries
doing the right
6-0.
thing.
Thank you
You're
very
doing the
much
right
for all of your efforts.
Thank you.
I will reach out to you to get the address and names, and so that we can put a letter in with it for the, so it's on your behalf. Thank you.
Can I just request that we work with our direct St. Jude's representative to make sure that it's appropriated to our kids' names and stuff?
Absolutely.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next item on the agenda tonight is administration reports, so I'm going to turn it over to Jane once again for her business administrator's update.
The first document, I'm sorry, the first attachment that I had put in your board packet, a very large 57-page financial report. We had our first fiscal Board Finance Committee last week, and we talked about reviewing the finances and expenditures for bonds, and I'll go over that spreadsheet as well. But since we are transitioning to, and I've mentioned at a couple board meetings, we're transitioning from a desktop portion of our software to the cloud. The reporting is very different in the cloud version, and the software has a lot of pre-designated reports that are automatic that you can choose from, and their formatting is different than the format on the desktop. So these are a little bit different. And so until we get the hang of exactly what we want for reporting, I just figured I'd give you everything. And it's the new fiscal year, so it's July 1, 2026 through last week. And it's just whatever expenses and encumbrances we have in that 2-month or month-and-a-half time period. I wouldn't normally send you all of this detail unless the Finance Committee decides that that's what we think is a good format to bring forward to the board at each meeting. But if you look through the reports, there aren't going to be any salary expenses or encumbrances other than the year-round staff. So staff like ourselves, custodians, office staff, and the SAU principals, because they're getting paid year-round, so their money is already coming out and it's already been allocated. But the teachers haven't been set up in our system yet, so that's why you're not seeing any encumbrances or expenditures under those line items. So look through that. If you have any questions and you want to call me and ask for any of them, just let me know. And for the second board meeting in August, I will bring you a financial report from last year, a finalized one, and then I know we'll be talking about unspent funds at the end of the year, at the end of that meeting as well. I also included in that packet an update of the bond and what we've spent to date. Now, as you know, some of the projects had been done already. Some of them, the big projects that we're working on this summer, a lot of the money hadn't been expended because they had to wait until school got out. So, but you can see that there are, we've made, I think, 2 payments to Honeywell, and those are...
Jane, is it possible to put that sheet up to show? I don't know if that's something, the bonds.
Don't know how to do that right now, but
okay.
They just changed the whole system.
Yeah, they just told us they changed it, so
Probably not.
Okay.
so I'm going to say that's no, but it is under the. It should be on our website on the board packet.
Okay.
If people want to.
Okay, I did want to. Was it you, Brian, that was asking about that, or it was you? Sorry, you were asking about the bond expenditure up to date. So there is a
a paper, a packet out there that shows line by line item of what we spent and what's still there.
Yes, under tonight's meeting. It should be posted on the website.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that.
Sure. So we've made payments to Honeywell, payments for the brick replacement over at South Range. Many of the projects that Jeremy updated today, completed or not completed, we have either made payments in full or partial payments for basically progress payments. So right now, we've expended or paid out, year-to-date would be $7,404,000. And when I say year-to-date, it's really project-to-date, so since the beginning of the project. So over the course of the summer, we have paid, all of our contractors have been paying Mark Jobin to be managing the project, Ekman Construction, who's been doing a lot of the facade work, the roofing company, Honeywell. So all of those projects have been going on. East Derry's roof was replaced. That's been paid already. So a lot of those projects, they're all moving. Some of them, as you know, when the bids came in under budget. So obviously we're tracking that. We're tracking some savings. So all of those have been posted. Checks, again, were issued today. So these are not reflective of even payments that we made today that you've signed off on the manifest. But considering how much work is getting done over the summer, I can run this report for each board meeting if the board would like that. All right, but we'll go over that during the Finance Committee and see if that's what they want to bring forward.
I have a question.
Sure.
So the column that says over under budget, which one is over and which is under? The ones with the negatives, are those under, over?
They'd be over.
They would be over. Okay, just making sure. Thank you.
Yes. Any other questions on those two reports?
I was just wondering, in connection to that, how that PDIP account is doing with the money that we have had in there. Is it, because I know we're obviously pulling more money out to spend it. Are we still?
Actually, David probably is going to.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Didn't know that was your thing or his thing.
We're working together on it, yeah.
So we did the $700,000 at the end of June. I think we were, $740? The total number at the end of June. So we get about $60,000 a month in interest currently. The interest rate hasn't changed in the last year. We're at around 3.5, I think. So everything stayed flat. And obviously, as we expend funds, the interest will start tailing down. But yeah, we're about $60,000 to $65,000 a month right now in interest still.
Last two things, I just want to talk to you about food service. The free and reduced applications are active online right now, so if parents want to start going on to the district website, go under food service or child nutrition, and you can fill out an electronic application if you are interested in free and reduced or think you may qualify.
While we're on that note.
Oh, sure.
While we're on that note, we'll be sending out the same video that we did last year and had some success. So that'll be coming once the students return.
Yep. So paper applications will be available, the online applications. Christina Lebelzik, our Director of Child Nutrition, she's in the district if people have questions, and they can also ask their kitchen managers at each individual school if they have questions on their application. She's happy to walk anybody through one of them. Just a reminder to parents, if they were approved last year and they are on free and reduced, they will have to reapply before. Their status holds them until October, and they will have to reapply in October or their status goes back to paid. So we just want to make sure to remind families, they don't have to do that right now if they were already on a free reduce, but make sure they do that by October. Okay? And lastly, I talked about the audit. We had the auditors here last Wednesday. We had them on August 5th, and we had 4 auditors with us for the day. They pulled a variety of information. They will send us questions and requested documents a couple weeks beforehand. We submit it in the online portal. From that, they then dig deeper, request additional information. All of that was provided to them. They were pretty happy when they left. And they will be back on September 8th for the week. And at that meeting, they will do student activities, they will do general fund, they will do the capital fund, food service, federal projects. They will look at payroll even more in depth, all the accounts payables. It's quite an extensive process, and the majority of it has already, all the information, the majority of it's already been uploaded into the portal. So I feel like we're very prepared for that, but that will be happening at that date. Any other questions?
So the only thing I would say regarding PDIP account and regarding Mr. Tripp's idea of T-Mobile, which is a good idea. So one of the things on Jane's recommendation back in November, we had moved our investment funds out of TD Bank, Citizens, over to the PDIP. So we were earning about $20,000 a month with our Citizens account, but in the PDIP, we doubled our growth to about $40,000 a month. So we're picking up about $250,000 this year, starting in November. So just to give you a heads up, when we do get roadblocks from other areas of what happens in the nature of the business, we try to find areas where we can make opportunities happen. And like I said, it was Jane's recommendation. We did that back in November, and it's about an extra $20,000 a month that we get on the money that just sits there while we pay our bills. So heads up.
Any final questions for Jane? No? Thank you, Jane.
You're welcome.
You're up, Mr. Flynn.
All right, thank you.
Superintendent update.
It's our favorite time of the year. Well, so welcome to the 26-27 school year. As Jane mentioned, we officially transitioned. I missed you guys. I hope you enjoyed your 5.5 weeks off. So exciting times for us. New teachers come on the 19th. Staff report back on the 20th. Students come back the following week on the 25th. And we are in full-fledged get ready for everyone to show up mode. So been a lot of excitement around the hiring. As you can see, we had quite a few summer hires. At the same time, I think it's the most, I said it at the end, it's the most staffed we've been since pre-COVID from what people have told me. So not a whole lot of positions open there. With that retirement that came pretty late, we got lucky and were able to gain a teacher. In the hiring process, I just want to reiterate some of our practices so that the community is aware. One of the goals to restrain salary is in the hiring process. So at some point in the fall, I'm going to show you some data on the salaries that went out, whether it's retirement, resignation, moves, and then the hiring we did. We really want to show that we are regaining some salary back. We're still going to hire the best candidates. We're not hiring the cheapest. But we're trying to be articulate in which areas that we replaced and how we replaced them. So I look forward to showing that detail because that's a way to show the community the restraint that we're trying to predict over the next 3 to 5 years. So hiring's been outstanding. Enrollment numbers are in your packet. If you take some time, that came in hot. That was this morning when we were at our leadership retreat, and I'll discuss that in a second. You'll see that we relocated a kindergarten over to East Derry, and our numbers are still in the areas of which that we recommend. Take a look at West Running Brook. You're going to see that we have a bubble coming up there. As Bill was saying this morning, it's the highest they've been in the short time they've been there, but they're at 675. So it's going to be interesting to watch that this year, as we had quite a few move-ins in that school. So enrollment's in there if you have any questions. In regards to some summer decisions we've made, we posted a 1-year position for a nurse at Gilbert H. Hood. We did some analysis with Mitch and working with Jane on some salary stuff. We have some high-need students moving up into Hood, and with Deep there, we thought it was we thought it was the right opportunity to, with the savings we have in some of the positions that aren't going to be filled this year, to see how that efficiency works out. Good news, we've already had 3 applicants, so I think we're going to see some better support for our students in the caseloads there. If you can imagine 1 nurse for 600 kids, now we're going to have 2 nurses that are able to split that load in regards to helping out with DEEP too. Next update is we've met several times this summer on 5-6 sports, and if you are in that building, you would have received kind of a dipstick feeling of, if any, of the interest. So we're going to be able to run 4 sports in the fall: boys and girls soccer, field hockey, girls field hockey, and cross country. So the details are still to come because it's really going to be a numbers-based system. We posted positions for coaches, number 1, and then once we get our numbers and have rosters, that's really where the next detail comes. So we've been working closely with Tri-County, that still exists right now, for fall and winter, and then in the spring we will be switching to NHIAA, which all rules are a 5-8 model, so we'll be fine. We have to do some dancing in the fall and the winter. I've already talked to Dr. Crawford, interestingly, on playing Hampstead, because they have a 5-6 model too. So we're going to try and play locally in that 5-6 as much as we can, but if it turns into a 5-8, we have some setups there. But Bill, Melanie, and Danielle have been outstanding and proactive in their approach, from busing to communication to hiring. So I'm excited to see what we can put together in the fall. Jane already did free and reduced, so we can cross that off. We, at the end of July, and Dr. Sindoni had worked closely with Laura Powers in sending out a special education survey that Jamie had mentioned several times. So if you are a family in and has an identified student, you received a survey. We've had, it's right, yeah, it's purple, sorry. We've had 92 responses, which is, I'd say, pretty good, honestly, in the outreach. And I can't wait to share these results because they are very positive in what we're doing and how we've accommodated families and how we work with them. So I look forward to showing that data. Once we close that out, I'll bring it to a board report, and you'll get to check out what some of the comments were and then really the scale of what people have been rating us. So I look forward to that. Yesterday, our administrative team, all 30 of us roughly, received an 8-hour legal training session with Drummond and Woodsum from collective bargaining, what our contract is and what it means, 504, IEP, investigation, supervision, evaluation.
It's everything.
Pretty much close. It was great training. Several people from the law firm are there. It's always good for us to get refreshed. There's a new bullying policy that I'll be talking about that we need to bring forward. A couple new updates, but it's always good to get I'll say the dust blown off the folders and make sure that we're doing all the right things administratively. So thank you to Drummond Woodson for that. And then last is a legislative update. So if you've been paying attention, or maybe you haven't, a couple things have gone on, and I'm going to give an overview because they're kind of hot off the wire, but specifically House Bill 1300, which is a mandate statewide that there's going to be a ballot question on the November election in regards to talking about a local tax cap. It's a 3/5 majority vote. And what's odd is we received training on this yesterday. There's still a lot of murky details in the way it was written. No one really knows the actual math in regards to what they were saying or how they wrote it. So we have a legal seminar on August 25th, I think it is. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I know there's actually a couple districts out there that are already trying to get together in regards to possibly challenging the law itself and how it was written and how it's being presented. Jim had mentioned that the other day. So I'll say it's still going through the ringer. Brenda had reached out to us and Jane trying to be prepared. We're going to have a lot of this information as we move into the fall here so that the board feels comfortable with how they stand and what their decisions and what the community is in regards to those impacts. I don't really feel comfortable speaking to the detail because we're still all uncovering it as we're moving along. So that's 1300. And then there's also 1331, which is specific to dairy. And I've already been in touch with Mike from the town in regards to that one, in regards to that legal mechanisms. And that has to be petitioned by the voters to get on the ballot, a voter petition under RSA 39.3, or action by the town council. So there's a lot of stuff still in the air on that one, but that's another tax cap relative thing. I'd say 1300 and 1331 are going to be a discussion for the board, and I think I'll bring it up more importantly through our committee work on how it's going to impact, obviously, our finance committee, how it may impact our curriculum, all those things, so that we have a comprehensive packet when we get to those parts. I think August 25th is probably the next date for us that we'll be more prepared to speak to. So not the next board meeting, but probably that first meeting in September, we'll be ready to really discuss it. So. That is the update. Any questions?
Is there a third bill?
1610, I think it was, got vetoed by the governor. So that next meeting in August, which you'll be able to discuss the fund balance, you guys still have control of that.
So Mike, if I heard you correctly, you had a meeting with the law firm that handles all our business in Derry, right?
Yeah.
And they couldn't articulate the ins and outs of 1300 because it's just not there?
Yeah, there's some real discussion around the math. I'm trying to read.
No, you don't have to get, we can talk offline.
Because it has to do with inflation, but then there's a 6%, but then they're saying that it doesn't impact the students, but it does because that's where the money would come from. We're in a real interesting spot as a sending town. We have a sending town meeting in the first week of September because when we calculate our costs or how this math would happen, O'Shaughnessy specifically was saying the sending town schools are going to be different because there is no cap for Pinkerton, right? So if Pinkerton goes up 2, 3, 4, whatever, it doesn't, they can do whatever they need to, then it impacts sending schools because we have to then figure out how we're going to handle our budget. There's interesting discussion around, obviously, healthcare, and then more collective bargaining professions. So it's going to be, I'll just say the next couple of weeks are going to be interesting. There's a lot of work going on at our level in regards to who's doing what. And it's clear as mud. That's where we are right now. And everyone just wants to do the right thing. Sure. I don't think anyone's worried. I think it's more about making sure we're communicating the appropriate message. And the math is important, right? So that we're calculating appropriately to show the community how it will be an impact.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Any other questions for Mike? That's a lot. All right, no other questions. We'll move on to committee and liaison reports. We're going to turn over to Karen for an update from the Finance Committee.
And Jane did a great job with the update on the Finance Committee. I just want to reiterate one thing, that because of the transition in the new software they're having, at our next Finance Committee meeting, she's going to bring us all the different reports that we're able to see, instead of getting one report of 100 pages with you have to go through line by line. They'll be specifically targeted. So that'll be a big help at the next Finance Committee meeting. And that's it.
Thank you, Karen. Any questions for Karen? I know Jane and Jeremy kind of took the big butt out of this one, but we'll turn it over to David for the Facilities Committee update.
Yeah, no, I mean, Jeremy pretty much discussed everything. We went through the meeting. I think the one thing we talked about, and I don't know if this is a tonight discussion or not, or an offline, but was doing a walkthrough over at South Range at some point in the near future. You know, there's a whole, we'll figure that part out, but.
Yeah, and actually, several people have reached out to talk about that, because in facilities, we talked about options, right? I think after doing some looking back, my suggestion to the board is just post it as a facilities walkthrough, and that way we can do it in one fell swoop. I don't think we need Jeremy taking 2 or 3 walkthroughs. No. So we'll post it. Anyone that wants to come walk around, there's nothing, it's everything to show the work that we've done or what we've uncovered. So what we'll have to do, though, is obviously agree upon a date. So I will work with Michael when he returns, and we can do a calendar thing, and then we'll get something posted. Might be during the day, maybe between 12 and 3, something along those lines. But we also have to make sure everything's clear and safe. So that sounds all right.
Thank you. And one thing, just getting feedback from a couple people in the community over at South Range is those guys are out there at 6 in the morning, and they're working their butts off on the weekends to get everything to where it needs to be, which is great and very appreciative. But it sounds like it's looking really good with the new bricks and everything else, so I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming up.
Yeah, while we're on facilities, I'm going to throw the SAU update in real quickly because several of you reached out this summer in regards to that. Jeremy kind of touched upon it. Jane fully moved out. Your office moved in 2 weeks ago. Special education's moving in this week. Curriculum's 80% in. Dr. Sindoni's office will be open as of tomorrow. So it's kind of been this slow move. The goal is to be out by August 26th or 7th. And then in one of those first meetings in September, I'll bring the next steps for the board in regards to what you need to do in regards to selling the current property. So I'll have all the rules and regulations that you need and are required. And then you guys can take that discussion and those action steps and see what's next. So that'll be one of those meetings in September.
Right. Any questions for David?
Yeah, I just have one question. So I appreciate what Jeremy did when he gave us the whole outline of what's been going on there. Is there any way, I went to the facilities meeting as a citizen and just sat in there. I went out to the website and I pulled the facilities information, that whole spreadsheet that Jeremy had done. Is there any way for the school board to get that first? I mean, I had some questions on some things, just like the public had, and I felt kind of uninformed to discuss it with the public when I got it at the same time they got it. You know what I mean? Is there any way?
You talking regarding the committee meeting, getting before the committee meeting?
His update on all the projects.
Oh, before tonight's meeting.
No, it came out on
I see what you're saying.
On the website, but I got it at the same time everybody got it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a Mike and Mike question.
Well, usually it's just, I'll use finance as an example. Those finance documents go to the committee first for review and discussion before they go to the board. So you guys can tell us what to do, but that's typically the process because all the work and the review is done at the committee level and then brought to the board. I'm trying to think of the timing, so how would you, if we gave it to you earlier, your questions still would have to come to this meeting, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So it's, again, this is up to you guys, honestly. This is not my decision, it's up to you, but that's typically the process. Like policy, all policy goes to committee before it comes to board. That's typically where the work is done.
Maybe it's more on like a need to know, like if you know that you're going to go to a facilities meeting, if there's something specifically that you are interested in and want to ask for, you can hit up the committee chair or something and be like, hey, I'm going to the meeting. Do you have any information before I walk into it? I don't know if that's rather than spread it out to everybody.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Again, this is not a Mike decision. This is just a
I was
process.
just trying to solve her problem.
Yeah.
or her
Is this
question.
always the way it's been done? Is my question, I guess.
So I think what you're asking is, could we have updates on the work that's being done? Is that the question?
I did ask for those updates, but they came to me and the entire public. So I had no updates all summer.
Right, so and if I'm wrong, tell me.
Okay.
But to me, I think you're asking, can the board have updates? And of course, now school's going to start, so we probably don't really need them, but during the summer, it would have been good to have some updates to the board, like this is what's happened, bi-weekly or even bi-weekly would have been great, just to know what's happening instead of constantly calling Mike or Jeremy's taking up their time. If they just had a quick email, this is what's been done, great job,
and
thank you so much.
And when I did ask, it was, everything's according to schedule. Well, that would have been great to know too. An email a week ago, everything's according to schedule. Thank you, just stuff like that instead of having, because I'm on other committees, so now I have to go to the facilities to hear what's going on. You know what I mean? It's just.
I think this particular summer presented some unique challenges because it's a large bond that we have, and that we're really taking a lot of work towards that. As far as like the work that's been accomplished or is being accomplished across the district, I know like people who are on facilities, I have not been concerned about it because I've been going, like I'm an active member of that committee and I get updates and talk to them all the time about it. So that I'm not sure
It's also the first time you guys haven't had a July meeting, so,
Right.
you know, we had one July meeting last year. And as I said to you when we were leaving that, if that's something the board wants next summer, that's more than happy. It's up to you guys. This is your decision. I mean, you guys tell me what to do. That's your job.
No, I mean, I can say I can appreciate having July off, but I guess, Karen, what I would say is if you're uncomfortable, it doesn't solve the problem, but if you're uncomfortable answering a resident's question, you can direct them to Mike or Jeremy, and they're probably better off giving the answer than we are, right? That's what I would do. If there's a specific question you can't answer, I'm sure, and there's all of us, like if someone comes to me a curriculum in the community, they'd be like, hey, listen, you want to talk to Kim, you want to talk to whoever on the administration, I'm not going to be able to give you a coherent answer on that be acceptable to them. But I hear your point, and to Mike's point, typically, yeah, committee meetings are usually where the sausage is made and it's brought to this body. I think that one of the best things that Mike implemented and you guys implemented as a group 2 years ago, last year, is these co-chairs. You made them more consistent, where every Thursday of the month, every Tuesday of the month for our meetings, and you got people that are setting the agenda, you got people that come in that are responsible for the update. Before, it'd be like, hey, can you give an update on transportation kind of thing? And it just wasn't organized. You guys did a good job last year of organizing the way committees are run and the way it's handled. And it's supposed to be, do a better job of communicating, right, in theory. If it's not, I don't know how to fix that, except that if you want more frequent updates, then I think it's more of a Mike and Jeremy kind of pick up the phone and call and say, hey, guys, what's going on, And I don't know. That's just how I see the problem getting fixed. I don't think it does, because we only meet once a month for committees, right? Before, I mean, when last time I was on facilities, we were meeting like every other week because it was so hot button stuff going on. Now it's once a month, and it takes a certain level of trust for these guys too, that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? And if there's something that doesn't appear to be what you think it should be, then just pick up the phone and call. That's what I would do. But I hear your point, though. But that's kind of the way I always viewed it, I guess. In my experience.
I think I'm calling this a summer problem, honestly, because now we're meeting every other week from now until June. We experienced something new. My last summer, again, I'll go back to, I think that was the gap, Karen. I think we didn't meet in July, so you hadn't heard from me. That was intended. Like, I was trying to give everyone time off and a breather. But next summer, we'll do a July facilities update, or maybe we'll meet in July as a facilities team. That's fine. No problem with that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Final order of business, member updates and other business. I have a few updates here. We continue to actively look for a school district treasurer. Please reach out to the SAU office if you are interested in filling that position. Reminder to school board members that we will be finalizing our board goals for the 2026-27 year at the next meeting. I'd encourage you to continue thinking about the goals you want to put forth. Reach out to Mike, the superintendent, and Mike, the school board chair, with anything you'd like to add. And we are working on scheduling a joint meeting with the town council in September. And it will be, I think, a great opportunity to discuss some of the legislations that's come down the pike that Mike's mentioned in his superintendent update, HB 1300, which may affect the November vote, and HB 1331 in March. Anyone else have any other updates?
I just have a question. So this is great that you're doing that. I watched the one back in February. You guys did? Whatever. It was before the election. You guys met with the town?
Yeah.
The one thing I would request, I'm not going to say please do, is have some action items that, like, if you're going to meet, say, hey guys, town council, this is, you know what I mean, agree on some action items for leaving the meeting. It's nice to sit there and shoot the crap and talk about everything and be, yeah, we met and all that, but to have some actionable items where we might actually make a difference would be helpful. And that sounds bad. I don't mean it to sound the way it does. I just think we need to have more direction. I knew you guys were just meeting with them, and it was kind of a first time. That's great. I think the second meeting, we should have more meat in the bone and have more progress and more to-dos.
Sure.
And the only other thing to say is Kathy Kenny's doing a great job as interim district treasurer. I suggest we all pop her an email and say, hey, good job you doing? Please do it full time.
Get a promoter, if you will. Yeah. And I hear you about, having action items is a great thing. I think with Mike, certainly we're just trying to develop a new relationship that hasn't existed before, and we're trying to feel our way through that. But I hear you, David. It's always nice to leave a meeting feeling like everyone has a next step to go towards. Anybody else?
Yeah,
Jenna?
can we just get a reminder on the upcoming dates of the start for school? Yeah, first day of school for, I just thought,
Oh, I said that. Yeah.
did I miss it? I'm sorry.
8:25.
Are you talking about the time the schools start? Like, because the start times have changed.
That would be helpful too. Sorry, I was asleep at the wheel, sorry.
Yeah, so August 25th, students, new teachers the 19th. You're quizzing me, and I'm going
What
to
time does school start, Mike?
you'll get communication from the principals as reminders. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other updates?
So I have three things. Actually, I had people asking the names of the young ladies that they raised the funds for in memory, so that one is Lauren Grella and the other one is Alana Marcotte. There is a planter at West Running Brook that is named for Lauren. I don't know if there's anything else named for Alana, but I wanted to make that clear because people were questioning about that. I also want to make it clear that I never said I didn't want the tactile pads at Barca. I've been getting a lot of calls about that. My motion was made by what was said at the meeting. We were told that the money for the tactile pads, $6,000, would come out of the budget. And at that point, we didn't need, the guardrail wasn't an emergency. Things changed. Never once did I think that we shouldn't do the tactile pads, because if I thought we weren't going to take them out of the budget, I would have included them in my motion that night. End of story. I don't want to talk about it anymore, but people have been very upset with me, so I wanted to make that clear. The other thing I want to ask about is the strategic plan. Where are we with the strategic plan?
Yes, so the strategic plan was implemented right before my hire, and then last year we did several things with G&D, more specifically our mentoring program, our learning walks. We did some curb to classroom, so we still employed them. And then this year we have several other actions with them specifically to the strategic plan. I had mentioned it recently at our superintendent's leadership team on how we can incorporate it. What they're doing for us right now is they made a massive plan, right? Massive. And so what we're really trying to do is tailor that down specifically in the curriculum world. So they're working more on breaking it down into a curriculum strategic plan, because that's what we figured it was a better way to target. If you guys wanted that to be an agenda item, and we can come back and discuss it more, but that's kind of how we've worked with them on really more of a targeted approach rather than this massive. That's why you kind of hired me, right? So I'm doing some of the massive stuff on the organization, the structure, and the communication side, and now we're really having them a targeted approach with our curriculum, and they're doing our mentor program again with Dr. Sidoni. So we're still engaged, still working hard. It's just a little bit of a different feel.
That's good. No, we paid a lot of money for it, so I just wanted to know where we stood.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
So the one thing I would say about that night that we voted, everything on that we voted for was coming out of the current year budget, just so people know that. It's not like everything was coming out of the current year budget, so I don't understand the need to delineate.
And that, David, people thought that I took it out, and I didn't.
You just didn't add it to your thing, that's all.
Stop for 1 minute. The night that the motion that I made was for 4 items that Mike asked for. He said that night that the $6,000 for the tactile pads would come out of this budget. I understand it's all coming out of the same place, but people thought, after the meeting following, they thought I removed them. I did not. I've said over and over again that we need them. They're dangerous.
It's just, I just want to clarify, everything we voted for comes out of that current year budget, so there would be no need to leave it out because he said it was in the budget. It's all one budget. All right, well, all right, sorry.
Anybody else?
I would like to welcome Carrie Sindoni to the phone.
I forgot about that.
Just like it's looking down and we're seeing a new face, and you've been very quiet. So take it all in. Welcome.
Thank you.
And yeah, welcome to the crew.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the circuit.
Talk about missing the boat, right? You forgot the first day. I forgot to introduce Dr. Sidoni. It's like she's been here for a month now.
It's almost like she didn't leave.
That's true.
I'd call it more of a reorientation than an orientation.
All right. Okay. Our future meetings, we're back on a regular cadence following our July break this summer. We have a meeting scheduled for Tuesday, August 25th. That happens to be the first day of school, and Tuesday, September 8th, which is also primary day. The board may want to think about discussing that during our next meeting, if that's a meeting that we want to have. Both of them are scheduled at 6:30 p.m. at the Municipal Center, and we have no non-public session tonight, so I will accept the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
First by David.
Second.
Second by Jenna. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.